Hello! Today I'm talking about something I honestly never thought I would try: digital art. This video is just a process video. If you want to treat it like a tutorial, you can, but I recommend watching actual professionals for that. So yeah. The app I used is Ibis Paint. I've messed around with it before, back in those days. I never really touched digital art because I thought drawing with just my finger would be like super hard, which is dumb because a lot of artists are like literally draw with their fingers. This isn't some revolutionary masterpiece. I just started and I want to learn, so don't get your hopes up. But anyway, here's the process of making this drawing. I decided to draw a human, basically a face shot. My idea was a girl with ginger hair and green eyes wearing a mushroom hat. It's very simple. Why does she have a mushroom hat? Maybe she lives in a mushroom village or something. I don't know. If you want to give her name, a backstory, a personality, go crazy in the comments. This is just practice. This wasn't too hard because I'm used to drawing faces on paper, but I don't draw symmetrically, so things looked a bit off. That's why I chose a photo of a head base I drew on paper. One thing I love about digital art is the amount of tools you get. I mostly use this tool and some specific brushes. The face is obviously not proportionally correct, but it's stylized and I like it that way. You can see I struggled with the eye shape. I was being dumb, but what I learned is an eye is a shape. So in the future, I recommend using shapes to guide, to make eyes. It makes it easier, and I don't know why I didn't do that from the start. I wanted her eyes to be big and kind of shy looking, so that's what I went for. Nothing unique in the facial features except the eyebrows. I drew them like I usually do. Her mouth is a little frown. And for the line art, I used the erase the thick lines method. Pretty basic. I wanted low pigtails. I don't know hairstyles, but I went with that. I used this tool to make it semi-symmetrical while I like how the hair suits the character. I added the heart-shaped swoopy thing I always draw, and I like it. As you can see, this wasn't my first idea. At first, I wanted to make a shy pirate crew member, but as you can tell, that didn't exactly work out. So I went on Pinterest and found some ideas. And the one I found was a hat, a mushroom hat, and which I found endearing. And guess I'm still using the same line art erasing technique. Then I just adjusted some things like the eyebrows, mouth, hair, the usual. I chose a warm tone for the skin because I thought it would complement the hair and make the whole drawing feel cozy. Warm colors are red, orange, yellow, if you didn't know. I really wanted to stick with that soft, warm vibe. I used this brush for the blush and shading. I didn't know if I did it correctly, but it looked fine, and that's what matters. I learned to use the same base color but darker for shadows, and it complemented the drawing nicely. I made the line art a brownish color so it looked soft instead of a harsh black. Hair color is ginger, obviously. I tried not to make the orange clash with the skin tone too much. For the shading in the hair, I just followed my heart. I didn't plan where the shadows would go. Same color, multiply, shade, shade, shade. Then I went on an ad layer. I used the skin color to make the glow on the face and the bangs. I actually love that. It gives the face more attention. I think focal point is the word. For the eyes, I used green. I didn't know how to render eyes in this specific shape, but I just tapped around I did that. Then I added the pupil. If you guys have tips for eye rendering, please leave them in the comments. For the hat, I used this color and the same hair shading technique. I don't know if shadows work like that, but I like how it looks. For the background, I used warm colors again, so I went with a yellow shade. It looks like mustard, but it makes the drawing look brighter. I don't know how that works, but as you can see, dull, bright, dull, bright. And here is the final drawing. Again, if you have tips, name ideas, backstory, anything, please leave them in the comments. And that's all for today. Thank you and goodbye.